The UIM-ABP Aquabike Class Pro World Championship heads to stunning Ibiza in Spain. Ibiza is truly a Mediterranean gem, and it has the works. It offers up a lot of everything during the long summer days and nights. It's up to you whether you're up for the challenge. This island temptress also has a historic and picturesque town with quaint streets and a world-famous port with an imposing castle towering over it. But it's only a matter of time before you find yourself sprawled out on one of Ibiza's incredible beaches, where the sun shines year-round and the cool, clear azure waters beckon. When the day winds down, the blue turns into all shades of orange and red as you witness one of the most wondrous sunsets in the world. But on Ibiza, nighttime is when life shifts up a gear or two. Some head back to the old town to mingle in the many restaurants and bars. This is an island that never sleeps, and youths flock from all over the world. But the biggest claim to fame of Ibiza is, you guessed it, the music and the wild partying. This is the world capital of electronic music, and the parties are the stuff of legend, attracting the world's top DJs and producers. It goes on all night, every night, until the sun's back up, and then some more. It's a fun, sexy, stunning, wild, hedonistic, raving good time all summer long. From the moment you get off the plane, you're in a technicolored, glowing, gleaming, glittering wonderland. It's the perfect setting for one of the world's youngest, wildest sports, aquabike, as 65 competitors from 15 countries take to the waters off Playa d'Embosa for the Mediterranean Grand Prix, round 3 of the UIM-ABP Aquabike Class Pro World Championship. The second round of the 2014 season in Milan was not just a race, but a festival, with 4 days of competition, music, partying, and night slalom racing. Perez reigned supreme in the runabout GP1, which produced 2 of the most stunning races the sport has seen in years, with incredible passes, big crashes, and a lot of drama. In the ski division GP1 battle between Chris McCluggage and Jeremy Prix, it was McCluggage who came out on top, while Jennifer Menard won the ladies' event despite a painful thigh injury. In the freestyle, Rock Floriancic was his usual immaculate self, enjoying yet another clean sweep in Milan. Round 3 is a pivotal point on the 2014 season. Those leading the rankings need to solidify their leads and open a cushion with their opponents by getting a win here, while those who've lagged in the points tally have a last chance to rise back up the overall standings to give them a shot at competing for the world title in the coming rounds. There are 4 divisions: Ski Ladies GP1 and Ski Division GP1 are raced on physically demanding skis that require technical skill and excellent fitness, as the riders race standing and the boys and girls all race together. The freestyle sees some incredible tricks on the water, possible thanks to specially modified and customized aqua bikes that are capable of producing some stunning tricks. The big event, the main show, are the runabout bikes. They produce over 400 horsepower, hitting top speeds of 150 kilometers an hour, making them a truly awe-inspiring spectacle on the water. The riders are ready, the adrenaline is pumping, the race is on. Jorge Tomas Jimenez is competing in home waters. He's been racing since 1998, and in 2013, he got a 6th place finish in the year-end standings. Let's meet the Spaniard who's looking for glory in Ibiza.
Me llamo Jordi Tomás, piloto español. Llevo compitiendo.
My name is Jordi Tomas. I've been competing in the sport since 1998, and in the UIM-ABP Tour since 1999. I've been in both European and World Championships, competing in races all over the world. I've got a lot of experience, and I hope for some big results one of these days. I was European champion in 2008 in Madrid. Then in 2009, I finished the year-end rankings in 3rd place. In the last race in Milan, I got a 4th place finish in the first heat, although I had problems in the second race and couldn't finish. But that's part of the sport. You always have to factor in technical reliability.
El deporte en España está un poco ahora abajo por
In Spain, the sport isn't doing too well these days because of the current economic crisis. But there are a lot of young guys coming up the ranks, some better than others. There aren't a lot of riders, but the ones we do have are very good. Guys like Alejandro Molina, Ismael Rojas, Kevin Moreno, and Sandra Fernandez, who are all aiming to rise up the ranks and compete on a more regular basis. They were able to get the sponsors to join this event alongside me, and with Nacho Armias as well, we have a good contingent here.
Hay pocos, pero muy buenos.
In the Blue Ribbon Runabout GP1 event, the big name is surprise Round 2 double heat winner in Milan, Jeremy Perez of France. He has a slender 3-point lead at the top of the world standings, but he's in Ibiza to win. In Qatar in round 1 I ended up in 11th place after a mechanical problem in heat 2, but in Milan I managed to win both heats, so it was a great weekend for me over there. I beat Teddy Pons, who's just 3 points behind me in the championship, and Cyril Lemoine is in 3rd position and not far behind. There's also other great riders out there, the likes of Mohamed Al Haidous, Mattia Fracasso, Francois Midori, and more.
Le championnat est serré.
The big rival for Perez is Teddy Pons. Pons is a former world champ who's back in top form, having won his first heat in years in Doha, Qatar, back in round 1. He's on an upward graph, but can he topple Perez? We all want the same prize, we all want victory. Sometimes you come first or second or third, sometimes you don't get on the podium, but everyone is always here to win every time. And this weekend is no exception. Another rider who has stood out this season with his aggressive style and excellent form is Sweden's Sebastian Åkerblom. He wants to prove he has a place at the top here. As for former world champions Francois Midori of France and Mattia Fracasso of Italy, They have to get some serious results here, otherwise they're going to have to start planning early for next season.
Importantissimo vincere per me questa tappa, essendo la
We
terza
started the
tappa,
year off badly in the first 2 rounds, making mistakes and not getting results. Now it's the 3rd round, and we have to figure out what we're going to do here. We want to get maximum points and results, and we'll go out to win it.
Anche la moto dia il massimo e vediamo il risultato. A dopo, grazie.
I had a rough start to the year in Qatar, and then one good race in Milan, followed by another breakdown. I've worked a lot on my ski, and the 2 races here are very important. Hopefully, I'll be on the podium at the end of it. The big news in round 3 is the return of defending world champion Yusuf Al Abdulrazak of Kuwait. He had a disastrous 0-point performance in round 1 in Qatar and missed out on Milan. And now he has a 61-point gap to close if he's to defend his world title.
That gave me very bad start for the season, but it's okay. I'll play catch up here in this race with the guys and try to get maximum points and see how it goes in the first heat. Doing good. I will be participating in China, so we'll see what happens.
Round 1 winner Cyril Lemoine was 3rd in the standings going into Ibiza with just 16 points between him and Perez. Reclaiming the top of the rankings was well within his reach, provided he didn't experience the same technical trouble that dogged him in round 2 in Milan.
This season started very good for me because in Qatar I win and I take many points from the other one, and after we change full system. We have many problems in Milano in the second round. I have many problems mechanic. After I have a crash at the last start and I put 0 points. And now I'm 4th. I need to win this weekend and I try to do my best for that. The condition for me is very good because I like when there is a wave. Yesterday I have a little problem during the practice with my steering system. I can't turn very good in the right, and now it's okay, and I start 5, but I think I can pass some people during the race.
The big names are all ready for the 5th heat of the year. This is what they're here for, to go out there and race their hearts out, to seek glory and victory in round 3. It's a rolling start. Teddy Pons in pole, Jeremy Perez right beside him, and the race is on. Lemoine has a great start, passing Yusuf Al Abdulrazak and Mattia Fracasso before reaching the all-shot. The 10-time world champion is flying out there. Jeremy Perez leads the pack to the all-shot. Pons passes him briefly, but Perez regains his position and is in command of the race as they enter the alternate course. Perez is chased by Pons in the blue track, with Lemoine right behind the leading pair as they go around the demarcation buoy. With just 3 points between them in the world standings, Pons knows that a win will shoot him to the top going into Heat 2. Behind Lemoine, Al Abdulrazak goes head-to-head with Fracasso, followed by Qatari rider Mohamed Al Haidous. Perez has been in stunning form, producing 2 masterful races in Milan, and it looks like he's carried his form to Ibiza. But Pons is a former world champion, and he's had his best season in years so far with a win in Heat 2 in Qatar. Lemoine in 3rd is gaining on Pons, putting the pressure on his fellow Frenchman as they enter the alternate parallel course. At this level, and with this concentration of talent, you have to be tight, focused, and perfect. Spaniard Jordi Tomas Jimenez chasing the leaders. Trouble for Lemoine. He's out early. And that's 3 heats in a row he's been unable to complete. That puts Jordi Tomas Jimenez into 3rd, but Middle Easterners Al Abdulrazak and Al Haidous are right on the Spaniard's tail. Lemoine and his team are heartbroken once more. They really needed those points. It's been all downhill since he won round 1 in Qatar.
I break my shaft. No transmission.
In 4th place, defending world champion Al Abdulrazak gives chase to Jordi Tomas, knowing he too is in desperate need of points. At the top of the course, entering the alternate track, Al Abdulrazak sees his chance, sneaking in on the inside to claim 3rd spot, bumping Jordi Tomas back down to 4th. Further back in the field is a truly inspired run by Swede Sebastian Åkerblom, who moves from 12th position all the way up to 6th with some truly exceptional racing, setting his sights on breaking into the top 5. More frustration as Lemoine's Marina Quattro teammate Fracasso is also out of the race. And that eases the pressure on Al Abdulrazak. In the lead, Perez misses a buoy as he tries to get past the back markers. He goes straight for the black penalty buoy. He stays in front, but his lead is cut down. At the top of the course, Pons sees his chance as he puts the pedal to the metal to pass Perez in dramatic style and take charge of this race. It's now Perez who has to play catch the leader in the green track of the parallel course. An extra challenge on this short circuit with so many riders here is lapping the back markers in a tight and choppy course without compromising speed and precision on the turns. Åkerblom is continuing his thundering form as he zeroes in on Jordi Tomas in 4th place. Back in 6th, former world champion Francois Midori trying to get within striking distance of the race leaders as the Corsican tries to get some points on the table. Last year's world number 6, Jordi Tomas is using his home water's advantage well, the Spaniard looking to repeat or better his 4th place finish in Heat 1 in Milan. But Åkerblom is pressing hard. He smells blood. Åkerblom has it! He's passed yet another rider to move up into 4th. This is extraordinary racing from the Swede. As Jordi Tomas laps Sebastian Tuera, it's Francois Midori he has to worry about, charging up behind the Spaniard, who's having difficulty getting around the back markers. Jordi Tomas goes too wide. Midori pounces on the inside. Look at that racing. The 2012 world champion is on a roll as the crowd watches with bated breath. But Jordi Tomas is not out of it yet as he gives chase to Midori on the top straightaway. And the Spaniard now passes Midori. Jordi Tomas reclaims his position as the two enter a titanic duel in the blue track of the alternate course. Up front, Perez is still trying to find a chink in Pons' armor, but Pons is not giving any freebies. Perez is going to have to create his own opportunities if he's to have a shot at reclaiming the lead. But Perez also needs to keep one eye on Al Abdulrazak, with barely a second separating the two riders. Jordi Tomas is out of the race. What a shame for the Spaniard, he was putting it all on the line out there. 25 minutes of physically demanding racing winds down to the final few minutes. But Pons, a former Carriget champion, has no problems with endurance. The pack enters the final lap. Pons, Perez, Al Abdulrazak, and Åkerblom make up the top 4. There isn't much separating these top 4 riders as Åkerblom gives it his all to try and take Al Abdulrazak at the top straightaway. But the Kuwaiti holds on as they enter the alternate course for the last time. It's over. He has it. Pons is the winner of Heat 1. Perez has to settle for runner-up. Al Abdulrazak breathes a sigh of relief as he takes 3rd ahead of Åkerblom. The top 5, Pons, Perez, Al Abdulrazak, Åkerblom, and Francois Midori finishing 5th. I started off very well. I was good on the start lap, quickly moving up into 4th, but then my ski started losing power around the 4th lap. I managed to hold on and at least take 5th place. I'm pretty happy to have got that result. The ski's performing well overall. I need to make the necessary repairs for tomorrow, and this time, go for the podium.
Yeah, it was a very close race. We were like behind each other the whole way, but my boat doesn't have that power that they have. So I had to put the extra effort to try to pass and wait for a mistake, but they are good riders, Jeremy and Pons, so it's very tough to pass them.
With a day's hard racing over, it was time to kick back, let go, and dive into the wild Ibiza nightlife. First, it was time for some drinks in the bars and restaurants of Ibiza town. Then, on to Playa d'Embosa for some beach partying while watching the stunning freestyle night show. And after that, it's time to let go, be free, and party till dawn. In Ski Division GP1, the big rivalry this season has been between former world champion Jeremy Prix and veteran American Chris McCluggage, who joined the Aquabike Tour this year. Prix edged his rival to win round 1 in Qatar, but McCluggage bounced back to win round 2 in Milan. Having tasted victory, McCluggage wants to continue his winning ways in Ibiza.
Hi, this is Chris McCluggage. We're here in Ibiza for the Mediterranean Grand Prix, and it's the third round. It's very crucial because we had a very bad first round where we lost some very, very needed points. So we're about 26 points behind in the championship. I'm still not sure what's going to happen with the final round. It could be canceled and maybe not, so every point counts. I need to win the next 4 rounds, and even if I did and he got second, I could still lose the championship, so we definitely need a lot of help out there and some luck on our side. You know, it's possible he could break down, we could break down again. But this weekend here, you know, Rusty went back and did some research and development on some skis back there, and we took all the new technology that we learned, and he brought it here to this round. So the Monster HydroTurf Eurofin Bullet Racing V2 powered by Mac Racing is running really well this weekend. It's almost a little bit too much for me this weekend. It's an awesome boat, and you know, I hope to put it on the top step of the podium and maybe qualify first for once. And you know, I'm feeling good. I trained really hard, and it's a little bit different weather out here, the humidity, but you know, I grew up in Florida racing, so it should not be too much of a deal.
Prix sits atop the world standings, and with 3 out of 4 heat wins this year, he's still the man to beat out there.
C'est une course très difficile.
Today is the 3rd round of the season after a long break after round 2 in Milan. I'm physically ready, as is my ski. I'm in good form, and so is Mac, I'm sure. So let the battle begin. But it's far from being a 2-horse race. Enter Thiago Sousa, currently 2nd in the world standings behind Prix and ahead of McCluggage. He just successfully defended his European title in Portugal, and he's coming to Ibiza on a hot streak. Defending world champion Michael Prix would not race in Ibiza out with injury, but another veteran, Alberto Monti, was fit and ready, 4th in the standings going into Ibiza. In the ladies, Jennifer Menard, Estelle Poré, and Marta Sorrentino will be racing alongside the men, as will Sandra Fernandez, with Menard leading the standings in the Ski Ladies GP1.
We got a fly on the wall, we got a picture and a paper.
The big local talent is of course Nacho Armias of Spain. The young Catalan from Barcelona knows these waters well, and this could well be where he makes his comeback following a nasty accident in China last year and a shaky return to racing in rounds 1 and 2 this year.
Bueno, pues en octubre del año pasado, después de la carrera del campeonato del
Last October, after the World Championship Grand Prix in China, I returned there to race in an open national event where I fell at the start and ended up with 4 broken vertebrae and 2 broken ribs. That put me out of racing for a long time.
4 vértebras y 2 costillas. Volví en Qatar, ¿no? Después de
I returned to the racing circuit in Qatar for round 1 of the 2014 season, and I was very pumped up, very keen. Qatar turned out to be a wonderful weekend for me, except at the end,
muy bonito, ¿no? Excepto al final que me descalificaron por usar los.
when they disqualified me for using non-regulation front sponsons. I never declared this in public before, but the truth is that I think my disqualification wasn't justified.
Es totalmente ilegal. En Milán tuve muchos problemas.
Milan was also frustrating for me, because during the event my sister had to go to hospital, and things didn't work out so well. But I'm here now in Ibiza, like I was in Qatar and Milan, looking to do my best.
Y hacerlo lo mejor posible.
There was a fun, funky vibe with the ski riders on the beach. Let's see how it all played out on the water. The ski division Heat 1 was on, with 24 riders taking to the waters off Playa d'Emboso. Chris McCluggage in pole, off to a flying start, already opening a significant gap right at the get-go as he's chased by Jeremy Prix, Nacho Armias, and Thiago Sousa. McCluggage out ahead, entering the alternate course, with Jeremy Prix trying to cut his lead in the blue track. The round 2 winner from Milan, McCluggage, has had a perfect start, and round 1 winner Jeremy Prix is going to have to reach in deep in these conditions. In the ladies, Sandra Fernandez is in command, ahead of Jennifer Menard, Estelle Perret, and Marta Sorrentino. Trouble for Jennifer Menard. The ladies' world standings leader has a rough start. Estelle Perret passes Menard and moves up into second position. There's an all-Iberian battle further back between number 69 Rui Sousa and number 96 Carlos Vela. Vela passing the Portuguese rider. In the lead, McCluggage is in firm command, but with Jeremy Prix behind him, he knows he can afford no mistakes. The American is loving these conditions. In third position, behind Prix, is Spaniard Nacho Armias. Behind Nacho Armias is Portuguese rider and current number 2 in the world standings, Thiago Sousa, the reigning European champion from Mirandela, who narrowly missed out on the world title last season. The waters are getting choppier, and already the lead riders are having to weave past back markers. Marta Sorrentino, last year's season runner-up, currently third in the ladies. The race is 15 minutes plus 1 lap, but in these conditions, that can seem an eternity on a stand-up ski. Experienced veteran Alberto Monti of Italy is back in 5th spot behind Sousa. Armias closes the gap with Jeremy Prix as the 2 riders enter the alternate parallel course. Armias in the green, Prix in the blue. Armias is right behind the Frenchman, looking for his chance, but Prix holds on. Thiago Sousa in 4th, trying to keep in striking distance of the top 3, followed by Morgan Prix in 5th. McCluggage opens a 23-second lead, and he's going to be very tough to beat now. Further back, talented Spaniard Fede Fuster putting in a great race here in home waters. In the ladies, Jennifer Menard storms past Marta Sorrentino. While Armillas stays on Prix's tail, Thiago Sousa has crept up behind Armillas, threatening the Spaniard as they come out of the parallel course. It's the last lap, 15 minutes gone, 1 lap left. With McCluggage well out of anyone's reach, Armillas can still strike at Prix if Prix were to make an uncharacteristic error. This race was all about Chris McCluggage. He stormed into the lead early and led comfortably from start to finish, virtually unrivaled and unchallenged all race. That's his second heat win in a row. Jeremy Prix has to settle for runner-up, and Thiago Sousa pulls off an amazing last lap, overtaking Armillas, who falters so close to the end. In the ladies, the surprise winner is Sandra Fernandez, who wins one for Spain. There are the results. McCluggage, Prix, Sousa, Armillas, and Monti make up the top 5 in men, with Fernandez edging out Estelle Prix and Sorrentino, and Jennifer Menard disqualified. It was a very difficult race, technically very hard, because it's hard just trying to stay on the ski, but knowing the other girls are right behind me kept me strong and focused.
I was fighting all the race to pass Nacho and Jeremy. I only get Nacho, but I'm happy the same. I feel I can beat him. So next race, tomorrow I will prepare it.
We had the big engine in Milan, the 1300, but the 1200 for this round because the ocean conditions, we wouldn't need so much power. And for me, it's a little bit easier to ride in this type of conditions because it's constantly, you're on and off the gas. But I grew up in similar conditions where it's choppy. My dad always made me go out and ride. Hurricane was coming a couple days before, we'd go ride in the rough water. Today wasn't so rough, but it was rough for some other people. So for me, I just enjoy it. I love riding the watercraft. I love the waves. Even though it's small, it's still fun because that's where I feel where my experience and being a racer, all around jet skier, racer, whatever you want to call it, aqua bike rider, really I can show how much better of a pilot I am.
So lonely, I feel like we're going backwards again. You're turning so slowly.
In the freestyle, there were 3 masters of the art in Ibiza. Former Italian and European champion Roberto Mariani from Rome, former world champion Nas Florjancic, and his brother, the reigning world champion, the extraordinary Rock Florjancic. This isn't just a competition, but an aquabike show, and it never fails to wow the crowd. In the end, Rock won both freestyle heats with his brother Nas runner-up and Mariani third. But the real winners were the thousands who came to watch these acrobatics on the water. In the world standings, Rock reigns supreme with a perfect 125 points. Nas second, and Mariani third with 62 points, ahead of Calderoni, who missed the Grand Prix in Ibiza. Ibiza also hosted the UIM Class 1 V1 World Powerboat Championships, featuring the biggest, fastest boats in the world, 4-ton behemoths that hit speeds of 200 kilometers an hour, considered the pinnacle of marine motorsport racing. 2 days of racing, the world-famous Victory Team won the Class 1 races, while the V1 winners were Tommy 1 and Chaudron. Riders prepare for Heat 2. McCluggage is happy because he has pole. Thiago Sousa starts third on the grid after Jeremy Prix. Today I want to get revenge for yesterday where I finished second and I wasn't happy with how I raced. Now I want to win and I'll do everything I can to win this weekend. In the ladies, Heat 1 winner Sandra Fernandez will lead the field ahead of one of her main rivals, Estelle Perret. Also out to prove they can race with the best of them are Slaven Ivancic of Croatia and Nicola Piscaglia of Italy. "25 male and female riders line up, waiting for the start. The yellow flag is waved, the race begins. McCluggage off to another amazing flying start right off the bat, with Perret and Sousa right behind him. Jennifer Menard has a great start to lead the ladies. In second place, Thiago Sousa has a tumble. Terrible mistake. McCluggage having no problems up in the lead as he enters the alternate track, with Jeremy Perret once again chasing him down with all his might. Meanwhile, Rui Sousa helps his brother try and get back up on his ski, and Thiago will have to claw his way back up the field. Behind McCluggage and Perret is Nacho Armias once again, who's followed by a surprise rider in fourth, number 10, Steven Loidis of France. In the middle of the field, Alex Perret of France catches Nicola Piscaglia and passes the young Italian. Thiago Sousa passing riders as he tries to salvage what he can from this race following his fall in the start lap. In the lead, McCluggage opening yet another big gap between him and the rest of the field as Perret is unable to find an answer to the American speed, while Nacho Armias stays close on Perret's tail. McCluggage is a multiple world and American ski champion. He likes these conditions, he likes the rough, and he is flourishing out there. Meanwhile, Thiago Sousa continues his rise, passing fellow Portuguese Lorenzo Gallego, and then using the alternate course to move up another spot. With Menard leading the ladies, Fernandez knows a top 3 finish will give her the Grand Prix win. There are just seconds separating Loidis, Barret, Kete, and Monti. Loidis feeling the pressure. Sandra Fernandez taking it easy around the turn. She collides with Barret as he tries to sneak through on the inside, but both are back up and running. As Barret speeds off, Thomas Kete goes around, but he ends up colliding with Lorenzo Gallego, who is coming out of the penalty buoy. That shows how tight and close to shore these riders are racing. Trouble for Estelle Perret. She's towed off the circuit. That's curtains for her in Ibiza. We've seen some truly inspiring racing from Thiago Sousa, who moves up from 25th position to 7th in just 6 laps. What a race he's had, and he's setting his sights even higher, trying to push for the top 5 as he laps Jennifer Menard. With Estelle Perret out, the ladies' field is down to 3, Jennifer Menard, Sandra Fernandez, and Marta Sorrentino of Team Perez. Alberto Monti overtakes Thomas Kete, moving up to 5th. Great racing from the veteran as he goes on to lap Lorenzo Gallego, with Kete right behind him. Sousa going so fast, but he has another tumble. Even the best riders are having a very tough time of it out there. 15 minutes are out, McCluggage going for the final lap, Perret still chasing in second, Armias third. McCluggage riding out the last few boys, looking at a clean sweep of wins in Ibiza. And he has it. McCluggage wins Heat 2 and the Mediterranean Grand Prix in imperious fashion. Jeremy Prix has to settle for runner-up this time, which is not easy for the two-time world champion and world standings leader. Nacho Artemias, a well-deserved third. Great result for Loïdis, who manages 4th place, and an amazing run from Sousa to salvage 7th place. In the ladies, it's Menard who wins Heat 2 ahead of Fernandez and Sorrentino. Sandra Fernandez is the overall winner of the Mediterranean Grand Prix in Ibiza, but Jennifer Menard still leads the world standings after round 3 ahead of Estelle Poré and Marta Sorrentino. In the men, Nacho Artemias third, Jeremy Poré second, and McCluggage is the winner of the Mediterranean Grand Prix. But Jeremy Poré still leads the world standings.
I had a great time, led from start to finish every race, and it's going to be a great round in China, and hopefully I can get some luck my way this time, and not have to work so hard, but I don't mind working hard. I like working hard, and it's going to take some help from the other riders or a small miracle to win the championship. I'm not sure about the last round if it's going to happen, but China, we're going to come out and we're going to be strong and we're going to win.
One of the big teams in the Aquabike World Championships for the last 2 decades has been Team Audemars of France, led and managed by former world and Carriage champion Teddy Pons.
Le Team Audemars est créé déjà depuis 20
Team Audemars was created 22 years ago, and there have been various riders on the team until now. This is the 22nd year that Team Audemars is participating in the Aquabike World Championship.
UIM-ABP.
Today the team is comprised of 3 riders, number 11 Emmanuel Cantamessa, number 23 Jean-Marc Duchy, and myself on 14. We're 3 teammates, comrades and friends, and we're all enjoying this adventure we're on. We all enjoy what we do, we all race hard, and at the end of the day, we're doing what we love. Audemars is also a business, and before anything else, I run a business. We sell and repair Yamahas, Sea-Doos, and Kawasaki's. Jet skis are a tough and competitive market, but that's what pays the bills and enables us to keep competing and doing what we love.
Le jet ski, c'est un marché très difficile, mais tant qu'on peut continuer la compétition, on sera toujours là.
Heat 2, 24 riders looking for victory and vital points here in Ibiza. Heat 1 winner Teddy Pons in pole as the riders line up ready for the start. The race begins, Akkerblom speeding down that starting straightaway alongside Al Abdul Razak, Perez and Pons. Pons leads on the inside while Akkerblom speeds past Perez and then goes head to head with Pons, vying for the lead right at the start. Lars Akkerblom finished 4th in Heat 1 despite starting in 12th, but this time he knows he has a shot at a win, or at least a podium, as the field enters the parallel course. Akkerblom's been in flying form all season, and he's pushing Pons all the way, laying the pressure on as the two come out of the alternate course. A great start to the race from Åkerblom, with Perez trailing the Swede in third position, trying to stay in reach. Just behind Perez is defending world champion Youssef Al Abdulrazak, trying to steal third from the Frenchman. This is a tight circuit, and there are a lot of riders, making this one of the toughest circuits on the Aquabike Tour. There's also plenty of action further back in the field as riders compete for crucial points to get up on the world standings table. The crowd showed up in their thousands, lining Playa d'Embosa Beach to watch the action. Up in the top three, the rivalry is heating up as Perez is slowly closing the gap with Åkerblom, but the Swede is still in dogged pursuit of Teddy Pons, 3 seconds behind. Al Abdulrazak takes the black penalty buoy in lap 4, and although he holds on to 4th, his lead over Midori is cut down drastically. The pressure builds on the Kuwaiti. Further back, Team Audmar's Jean-Marc Duquy goes head-to-head with Sébastien Touillera, and then passes his fellow Frenchman, moving up the field. Further up, 2011 world champion Mattia Fracasso passes Polish rider Andrzej Wisniewski, and Frenchman Didier Chabert trails behind the pair. Like his teammate Lemoine, Fracasso also started from the back, and he's trying to move up the field to salvage some points here. At the middle of the field, Jordi Thomas chases Hervé Partouche. Behind them, veteran former world number 3 Lorenzo Benagli of Italy gives chase. Up in the lead, Pons and Åkerblom lap number 50 Gianluca Santiamantini. Åkerblom not letting up in his stubborn chase as the gap tightens between those top 3, with Perez homing in on the 2 front runners in the parallel course. Francois Midori passes Al Abdulrazak to move up into 4th position, the former world champ setting his sights on the top 3. The leading peloton of 5 riders with just a couple of seconds separating each from the other. Pons leading, Åkerblom second, then Perez, Midori, and Al Abdulrazak. At the top straightaway, Åkerblom laps his fellow Swede Johan Johansson, but he loses speed and relinquishes second place to Perez, who zips by on the inside. Finally, the Frenchman clinches second spot in lap 8. But Åkerblom is not giving up, trying to strike back at Perez, looking for a chance in the parallel course as the Swede picks the green track, pushing all the way, carving through those turns. At this stage and in these conditions, there are inevitable breakdowns as Jean-Marc Duquy and Sébastien Touillera are out of the race. Multiple world champion Cyril Lemoine trying to keep the momentum as he moves up into the top 10 of the field. The battle for third place rages as Åkerblom is having to fend off 2 world champions who are breathing down his neck, Midori and Al Abdulrazak, while conditions get rougher and rougher and the back markers tougher to get past. Al Abdulrazak sees his chance to get back at Midori in lap 16. He goes wide around Midori and pours on the gas at the top straightaway to move back into 4th. Going into the final lap, Perez is more than 4 seconds off the pace. It's now or never for Perez if he's to reclaim his place at the top of the standings. But Pons is just too good, too strong, too experienced to let this one slip. The winner of Heat 2 in the overall Grand Prix, Teddy Pons. Jeremy Perez a proud runner-up, with Åkerblom capping an exceptional race with a well-deserved overall 3rd place. Heat 2 results: Pons, Perez, Åkerblom, Al Abdulrazak and Midori 5th again. That was really a great race, right to the finish. I kept trying to open a distance between me and Jeremy Perez, but he was right on top of me, right till the end. But the important thing is to win, whether it be by a meter or 200 meters, it makes no difference in the end. And it's even more important to win the overall weekend. It's been a real pleasure. I want to congratulate my team. But there are still 2 rounds to go in the championship. Even if I finish third or fourth in China, I have my sights set on the final objective, which is the world title.
L'objectif final.
That also determines the overall Grand Prix results, with Akkerblom on the podium, just pipping Al Abdul Razak, since he too has precedence in the event of a tie. With his double heat win in Ibiza, Teddy Pons moves to the top of the standings after round 3 with 108 points, 7 points clear of Jeremy Perez, and Al Haidous moving up to third. That concludes an amazing round 3 in Ibiza. See you in Liuzhou, China for round 4 of the UIM-ABP Aquabike Class Pro World Championship.